Hello everybody and welcome to our fabulous new launch of Flower of the Month. Now this one is a little bit different because it's actually flowers from the year. We're bringing you our gatherings, okay? And we have got some super florals on here for you. A little snippet that is going to cover all of our previous year. Now in front of me I've got volume number 1. Now I know that these two were from the very first collection that we ever did of Flower of the Month, and they are exquisite. And again, the actual artwork hasn't changed in any way, shape or form. We've just turned them into little miniatures for you, which are beautiful. Again, widening and broadening all of those projects that you're going to be able to make with them. So we have our rose, we have our sweet pea, which is one of my ultimate flowers. We have our iris and our charming clematis, okay? 1 die, 10 cuts. So these are all on our Swift system. So it's just one metal plate, okay? So we've got all of that going on, and that is volume 1. Now, after volume 1, we have volume 2. So on volume 2, again, same principle throughout the year. One die, 10 cuts, all the same. And then obviously we've got the 2 sizes as well, but we've got the anemone, we've just recently had that, the lily, the poppy, which was one of my absolute favourites, and the fuchsia, okay? And then this beautiful little pink peony, okay? So again, that's volume number 2, so that's gatherings number 2. And then here we have our beautiful winter bouquet. So this is 1 die, 6 cuts, okay? But when you look on the reflections, I will tell you this, that even though they are frosted, some of them aren't, okay? So there's lots of different options as well with your reflections. So some have got frost on, some aren't. You've got white berries, red berries. We've given you so much on the reflections as well to go with these, exactly as what you've had throughout the year. But again, just a little cross section of what you can do with this winter bouquet, a small sea wreath, and some of those beautiful Christmas roses on there as well. So that is the collection. Let me just show you a tiny little bit of inspiration. Now, I always look at this and I think, gosh, so this is volume 2. Okay, this is all of volume 2, all mixed together. Now, in my head, I'm seeing that this is like a roadside, maybe a hedgerow, somebody's beautiful garden, because they're all staggered and in size order. I mean, they just look exquisite all together, don't they? And these are all the sizes all mixed in. A little tiny bit of decoupage, because again, as always, we give you the ability to build up your flowers and your florals using the decoupage. So there's lots of snippability, even though they're only small. So that is volume 2. And then volume 1, I've done a little bit of borrowing. So I've borrowed of all these little pots and figures, okay? So I've got the jam jar, the perfume and the cups. So that is a little sneak peek, okay? So Pots of Love is actually coming out on Boxing Day. So again, they've lost none of their colour, none of their design quality at all. They are just a perfect replica of the originals, but in small. So they just are fabulous. So this one is volume 1. So now let's make a little demonstration for you. I've already made myself a little tent DL card. I've chosen just a little background. It can be anything. You could even do this with watercolour cardstock and make your own background. A little bit of green ink and let it bleed through. Beautiful. Then I've got my pots. I've already put tape on these. And these are just an anchor point for all of those florals. In fact, a couple of these I'm going to cut into. And I'm loving our mat that we've got. So I just want to cut around there and open up the jars. And do the same with the teacup, because that is then going to give me the ability of tucking the stems in. Like so. There we go. And again, tool set. our lovely tool set. This is on our website as well. I adore using this. I have several of them. It's our Craftmaster toolkit. And again, that's on highlightcrafts.com. It's blades, pokey tool, which is just incredible. I have several of them. I have one here that's already got my pokey tool in it, ready and raring to go. Just an interchangeable head, and they're fabulous. So now I can pop these on here. And I'm just going to create a little background and places really where I can tuck all these florals in. Now the florals that I've got are lots of mix and match of different colourways as well. So these are already sneaks of the other colourways because they're just beautiful. So think of all those different projects that you may want to do when you've got a collection like this. Maybe you already work with a lot of the flower of the month and you needed that little background filler. Maybe you love working with the 2 red robins and you needing something size-wise to fill in the front of maybe a card. You've got your characters, or you might have just recently purchased the signed, seal, delivered, and you've got the lovely garden of that cottage. These would look lovely at the front in the brickwork at the foot of the cottage. So look at all these. Those are my Christmas ones. I'm actually not going to go to the Christmas ones on this one because you've seen that beautiful bouquet that I've made. Look at the colours we have here. So, and when I say the poppies, do you remember when we did the poppy and we had it that it had got that ink, that almost that bloom on the edge? Aren't they spectacular? Just going to take that out. There we go. So we've got our poppies. We've got our peonies in whites. We've got our poppies in purples. Just going to pull out a few. And then I'm going to mix them up because I'm pulling some of these out as well. And I'm literally just going to grab those like that and just lay them on there. Okay. So now I've got multiple choice from different places. So let's start a little bit of a build. My all-time favourite glue in the world is Pinflair and glue applicators. These are an absolute must when you're working, 1, with 3D glue, and 2, when you're working with miniatures or doing your decoupage and things, because they are just a godsend. Fabulous little tip, so you can really be very precise on where you're putting all your glue, etc. So again, all of that is on Highlight Crafts. So first of all, because I snipped into that jam jar, that stem goes all the way into that jam jar like that. Okay. Then I have a stem rose, which I don't want that one. I like the iris. I've got a white one. There we go. So now I'm literally just going to pick out a few pieces, and the smaller ones as well, because the smaller ones really, for me, are the mainstay when you're making a project like this. They're the tuck-ins, the filling, the gap fillers. They also add height at the back. One, because obviously they're smaller, so they add better definition to your actual project. Because they're smaller and they're at the back, it gives you that perspective. So that lovely clematis, I'm going to lift that up all together and slide that behind. Then we have the sweet pea. The sweet pea can slide inside the cup, like so. That beautiful iris, that can go in with the rose. Again, remember I've snipped into these, and it doesn't really matter if you end up going over the top of your card either with any of these. Again, I've snipped into that cup, just opening that little gap. That's better. Slide that in. Just want to twist it a little bit that way. rose, that single stem rose, and more white clematis, and then I want the poppies. And the peonies, these are just beautiful. Do you remember looking at all these colours? These colours are just stunning. So we've not taken anything away from the actual flower of the month. If anything, we really have added quite a dramatic difference to it, because we've given you so many cuts. So if there are, I believe there's 23 cuts, 23. If you get all of it together, there's 26 different cuts, sorry. So that's a lot of flowers to be having a play with. And also I think it's a beautiful way of, maybe you missed out on the rose. Maybe because the rose was at the beginning, maybe you just missed out on the rose and you didn't get that one. So we've given you now the opportunity to add in where you could possibly have thought, oh, I really wanted that one. So now I'm thinking, I'm just doing kind of a little bit of a flower arranging in my head of where I'd want the colours to go. But when you've got all of these colours, you kind of want to put them all in there, don't you? I just think that is just gorgeous. Got a lot of white on this side, so I'm going to bring that forward. Okay. And then we have that lovely lilac peony. And I want something just at the front. We'll go with a little bit of a sweet pea. So these are just exquisite. I'm just going to tuck that right underneath in there, like so. That is just adorable. Just a beautiful collection, fabulous addition to all of that flower of the month. It's a lovely way to end the year with flower of the month, being able to bring you all these lovely gatherings to finish off all of your projects, and they build up just beautifully. So thank you for joining me for that little bit of a demonstration and that launch of our flower of the month. Well, actually it is flower of the month, but it's like a roundup of the year, isn't it? It's all of our favourites all in one place. So again, pop across to highlightcrafts.com. That's where you're going to get your best deals. That's where it's all launching. And remember, watch out for pots of love. That's Boxing Day. And I'll see you all again soon. You take care. Bye.
If you want to see more from Highlight Crafts, make sure you click the like button. Subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below, and click the bell icon to receive notifications of all of our future content. You can also click here to see our latest video, or click here to see more videos like this one.